Thank you for coming by. This is an American project. Please be sure to like and subscribe so I can get to 1,000 subscribers soon. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, my favorite girl is in the news again, Fani. She seems to not be able to keep herself out of the news. But anyway, let's take a look, see what she's up to now. A Trump co-defendant has joined a push to disqualify Miss Fani Willis for prejudicial behavior. As Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis moved to cancel a hearing that would further spotlight allegations of misconduct in a high-profile election case she is prosecuting against former President Donald Trump and 15 co-defendants, several of those co-defendants are arguing that an evidentiary hearing needs to be held. David Schaefer, former chair of the Republican Party in Georgia and one of the alternate electors who cast a ballot for President Trump in 2020, filed a lengthy motion to disqualify Miss Willis on February 5th. He argued that Miss Willis has engaged in a pattern of prosecutorial forensic misconduct that warrants the disqualification of her and her entire team, citing dozens of news articles and quoting Miss Willis's interviews extensively. All right, and there's a lot of paperwork here. I'm going to go over and take a look at it. Okay, here we are. Defendant David J. Schaefer's motion to disqualify the district attorney for Fulton County, Georgia, Atlanta Judicial Circuit and the district attorney's office from further prosecution of this action and for an evidentiary hearing. And he also has a quote from her here. If I were to comment on any open case, it would be a reason to conflict my office out. That is coming from Fani Willis herself. Very interesting. She's got a lot of different videos that have been popping up with her saying things that she ended up actually doing. It's just amazing. Introduction and background. The Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has engaged in a pattern of prosecutorial forensic misconduct, which compels her disqualification from the prosecution of this case, as well as the disqualification of her entire office and prosecution staff. All of the causes for the disqualification are self-inflicted blows, straying wildly from the legal guardrails, which are designed to protect the accused from improper extrajudicial comments by a prosecutor. The district attorney, for over a year and a half, has given multiple interviews where she has improperly labeled some of the defendants as, quote, fake electors, unquote, and commented on the righteousness of her investigation and prosecution. The district attorney's pattern of prejudicial public statements in relation to the case reached a new high, or low, depends on how you look at it, I guess, on January 14, 2024, in the sanctuary of Big Bethel AME Church in Atlanta. All right, I'm going to insert a video. You can take a look at it.
I'll go to them, and at some points I'm just gonna stray from them. But I hope y'all will be patient with me. The bishop told me I am welcome to be myself. In this very historic house of God. How many of y'all know that's what Bethel means? House of God. There is literally no place in the world I'd rather be than right here with you today. He says Dr. King was a great man, a prophet, he calls him. Said he was filled with good and kindness, and the only thing he wanted to do was make the world a more equitable place. He said Dr. King was not a perfect man, but he was a great man, willing to answer God's call. my sins, my flaws. I am one of his hard-headed children, so he must get me together often. I'm telling the truth this morning. But see, in my life, I have experienced things that have taught me Jesus is the only source I can only rely on every time and all the time. How come God, the same black man I hired, was acceptable when a Republican in another county hired him and paid him twice the rate? Oh, y'all ain't hear me. In another county, the elected official has the authority to pay him twice the rate. Why is the white male Republican's judgment good enough, but the black female Democrats not? Now, I want to be clear. All three of these special counselors are superstars. But I'm just asking God, is it that some will never see a black man as qualified, no matter his achievements? What more can one achieve? The other two have never been judges, but no one questions their credentials. I'm just saying. Lord, I'm just asking, is it that I, because of the shell you chose to put me in, will never be qualified in their eyes to make the decisions the voters put me here to make? Lord, never mind your flawed, imperfect servant.
It is important to set the stage. On January 8, 2024, defendant Michael Roman filed a motion to dismiss grand jury indictment as fatally defective and motion to disqualify the district attorney, her office, and a special prosecutor from further prosecuting this matter. Roman motioned to dismiss, in this action alleging that one, District Attorney Willis began a romantic relationship with attorney Nathan Wade prior to hiring Mr. Wade as a special assistant district attorney under a limited contract with a cap on the amount he could charge the county on or about November 1st, 2021. The next day, Mr. Wade filed for divorce from his wife. Number two, in March of 2022, District Attorney Willis and Mr. Wade modified the initial professional services agreement. Number three, during this time, District Attorney Willis and Mr. Wade continued their personal romantic relationship. Number four, on or about November 15, 2022, District Attorney Willis and Mr. Wade signed an extension of the professional services agreement through May 15, 2023. And finally, number five, District Attorney Willis and Mr. Wade continued their personal romantic relationship before and after the November 15, 2022 extension of Mr. Wade's contract. While the filings in the divorce case are sealed by court order, undersigned counsel has learned that Willis and Wade have traveled personally together to such places as Napa Valley, California, Florida, and the Caribbean. And Wade has purchased tickets for both of them to travel on both the Norwegian and Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Rather than properly addressing the accuracy of Mr. Roman's allegations, the district attorney chose a church setting to deflect the Roman allegations by making the most offensive and incendiary allegations against her accusers, forcing the defendants onto the lethal third rail of American politics. In her own words, playing the race card. The obvious intent of her remarks was to inject and infect the jury pool in Fulton County with unfounded allegations that anyone who dares question her or Mr. Wade's conduct must have done it for racist purposes. Oh boy, that's not good. As an attorney and most importantly a public prosecutor, her comments, which directly affected the pending litigation, were indefensible and reprehensible. These comments constitute prosecutorial forensic misconduct and warrant her removal and that of her office from the prosecution of this case. Also, if true, the Roman allegations establish District Attorney Willis' personal conflict of interest in hiring Mr. Wade, her romantic partner, causing him to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars with public funds, receiving personal benefits from him in the form of paid airline tickets, expensive ocean cruises, and vacations to exotic destinations, and never revealing to the Fulton County Board of Commissioners the nature of her relationship with Mr. Wade or the personal benefits she received from him. They're required to do that, by the way. Some people don't understand why this is illegal and a problem. But if you have a relationship with somebody, you tend to lean in their direction towards what they want. Now, she's the DA, and she wants Trump and these co-defendants prosecuted. And she is the one in charge of hiring a prosecutor to do that. And the person that she hired is Mr. Wade. So Mr. Wade's going to do what she wants because they're lovers. It's just how it works. If they got in a fight or something like that, then he might be mad at her and maybe he wouldn't prosecute them. You see, it works both ways. So conflict of interest is really important. And also the mismanagement of the funds and how they're benefiting from them tends to give them a slant on the case. Whichever way the money flows is where they're going. So that's the problem with this whole thing. All right, let's continue a little bit here. In fact, rather than disclose her relationship with Mr. Wade, she chose to affirmatively conceal the existence of the personal benefits received from Mr. Wade by failing to disclose these benefits and gifts on her omitting them from her required financial disclosure reports. Financial disclosure reports are required for a reason. It forces the public official to list any benefits the office received from any prohibited sources, such as Mr. Wade, who are doing business with the county. She chose to conceal the benefits. Additionally, pursuant to the Georgia Constitution, District Attorney Willis, as a public officer, is a trustee of the people and a servant of the people, and at all times is amendable to the people. Her conduct in hiring Mr. Wade, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars to be paid to him, benefiting personally, and failing to disclose her conduct is a clear breach of her fiduciary responsibility as trustee to the citizens of Fulton County, Georgia. Pursuant to these facts and others set forth herein, defendant David J. Schaefer accordingly moves for disqualification of the district attorney and her office from representing the state of Georgia in this action based upon the district attorney's public statements and conflicts of interest. The district attorney's publicized statements have been severely prejudicial to the defense. Furthermore, the district attorney's employment of Mr. Wade to investigate and prosecute the defendants and payments to Mr. Wade of over $500,000 from the Fulton County Treasury, while allowing Mr. Wade to pay for vacations for the district attorney and other personal expenses, constitutes a disqualifying conflict of interest as well as a violation of ethical rules applicable to attorneys and Fulton County employees and potentially criminal law. The defendants possess a due process right to a fair trial with an impartial jury and a disinterested prosecutor. There's the big part. Disinterested prosecutor. The court, furthermore, possesses duties to ensure that the defendants receive a fair trial with an impartial jury and to preserve public confidence in the impartiality of the administration of justice. The district attorney's improper and prejudicial actions, which are intentional self-inflicted wounds, warrant her disqualification as a representative of the state of Georgia in this action and disqualification of her office in vindication of defendants' rights and restoration of both the appearance of and actual impartiality of these proceedings. Okay, and it goes on. This has got a lot of pages to it, but see right here it says District Attorney Willis public statements to the news media regarding the race card her winning superstar team and her direct communications from God. All right, so these are some real issues. Her going in public and doing this. This is just unbelievable. Saying she's getting direct communications from God. I mean, you know, that's a big deal. All right, that gives her some kind of credibility that she didn't have before she made that statement to other people that are sitting there listening to it. So you got to remember that. This is a really big deal. There's no way this is going to continue on. They're going to have to remove her and her team and put someone else in, or just squash it all together. That's what's going to happen with it. And I mean, I don't see how they can continue on. This is absolutely lopsided. And there you have it. Thanks for coming by. This is the American Project. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And we'll get to 1,000 before you know it. Have a great day. God bless.